Today's the day. Rebirth Island is finally back. We waited a long time for this to come back. It was removed all the way back November 2022. And honestly, after looking this up, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it was way longer than that. I mean, it really was just a year and some change. It felt longer than that, but I guess it was removed right when Warzone 2.0, I guess if you want to call it that, came out. I can't believe it. I thought it was gone for years. It felt like more like 2 or 3 years. However, yep, it's back. It is different. I'll show you the trailer right here. For the most part, it's the same. All the landing spots seem like they're going to be the same, except they do plan on having more events, which we'll get into in a second. But it does seem like some POIs will change over time. You see, we got Bio. We got the gondola up to prison. You can tell me what sniper this is? Is this a new sniper? I don't know. Maybe they're going to try resurrecting some type of form of the Car 98K. That would be perfect for Rebirth, honestly, even though it was broken. Just the Car 98 Rebirth go hand in hand, but I doubt it. So it does appear that they opened up prison. You can swim on the map. Those are some of the big changes. You can see they're kind of making the hole here in the center of prison. You can find the full video on their channel. As I said, besides what's going on in prison, everything else is the same except for this. The tower does come down there, which is great, you know, in my opinion, just to remove the snipers. And there was some negative feedback right when they announced it all, but it appears that this is just going to be limited events, things like that. And there will be a infill strike that will alter the map in the POIs as the game goes on. I guess it's a bomb or something like that. Anyways, minimal changes. These are supposed to be rare. For the most part, they want to keep Rebirth how it is. Obviously, great for marketing. But what I wanted to talk about is how will Rebirth play out? We kind of experienced something like this recently with Fortnite bringing back their OG map. I'm kind of getting the same feeling with this. I feel like Rebirth's the best map they ever had. And when Fortnite's map came back, it felt fun to play if you weren't someone that didn't play Fortnite all the time. And even if you did, it was still great. But as far as a lot of the good players noticed that the map just wasn't the same. That map was built for a different type of Fortnite. Whereas I'm kind of getting that same vibe with Rebirth. Not saying it's going to be bad. But when you compare it to the other maps, as you can see, this is Fortune's Keep. Fortune's Keep is quite bigger than Rebirth, and it is a lot smaller than Ashika. And Vondel is also bigger than Ashika. So Rebirth is definitely the smallest of these bunch of maps, and that's not my concern. What my concern is how the map is designed. Look here. It has a center point, a center height, and they did remove tower, which I think is them acknowledging that this could be a problem. This tower, rather, the water tower, I think is still there. But one thing that they did with Ashika is the center point has mountains around it. So you can't really shoot from castle all the way down the farms or all the way down the port, really. You do kind of have some visibility, but there's a lot in the way with those walls and trees, and you really don't see it that much. You see with residential, the place right next to it, but for the most part, and castle can shoot where the vault is, but for the most part, it really can't reach these spots. Whereas prison, you can see everything on the map just about, besides maybe the ports are too low, like it drops below the mountain here, and maybe, I don't think they can see this boat, I can't remember. I doubt it, but still, it has a vantage point over all of these, and I'm just wondering with the way the game is played nowadays, especially on Fortune's Keep, in ranked mode, and I know that's ranked, it's different than this, but I'm just wondering how it's going to play compared to these other maps. Thinking back to Rebirth, when you compare it to these maps like Vondel or Fortune's Keep, where they got all these buildings, all these turns, stairs, it's a lot different layout than like when you think about Rebirth. This road right here, and then this road, for sure, I mean, it's just no man's land right here. I'm going to answer this. I think Rebirth is going to be great. Best map they've ever made. It's going to be so fun going back. But I just wanted to know if you guys think it'll be the different, same. Are they going to keep it in a rotation? That's another thing I wanted to talk about. These map rotations have been horrendous lately, especially for Resurgence. I haven't played big map in a long time, especially since ranked. is on Resurgence now, but the rotations have been terrible. I went to go play quad. I think it was quads the other day, and you have to play on the small mini modes on the big map, like where they shrink it down. That makes zero sense. We have 3 Resurgence maps. Why is Resurgence playing on anything other than those maps? I feel like keeping a very active rotation is honestly the best answer at this point. I'd be curious. Comment down below, which one is your favorite? I am kind of curious on who's, besides Rebirth. I think Rebirth would win handedly against these other maps, but I'm wondering what the consensus is on the maps right now, because the way they have it is just really poorly done. The modes are limited, especially if you play a certain mode. Like, let's say you only play duos, you only play trios. I think trios is fine. You can play quads. You kind of have 2 modes there. For duos, you're just stuck with whatever they put on, and it could be like that for 1 week, 2 weeks. But this rotation that they had is horrendous. I don't know why they can't just do a rotation, or I don't get it. I know it has to do with skill-based matchmaking and trying to keep the lobbies active, but at a certain point, they got to realize that people want to play the maps they want. I don't know, it just all seems silly to me the way that they have it right now. These rotations recently have been bad. They had the legitimate rotations where I think it was every 20 minutes or 15 minutes or so. Maybe it was 10. I don't remember it. It would switch. It would switch between Vondel and Ashika. And that was honestly the best. That was the best, because for the most part, I prefer Vondel, but it was nice to have the option. I feel like that's like kind of like the bare minimum thing to ask them, is like, give us options. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they do. Obviously, Rebirth's back. They're going to be marketing it. It's going to be in the rotation. I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 modes are Rebirth this next week or 2. And it'll probably be like that for like a month or so. I am curious to see what they do after this, because this past month, it seemed like they were testing things. They wanted to get a little more information before they threw Rebirth back in, which has always been a crowd favorite. Towards the end of Rebirth, it was the most played mode, even more than Verdansk, even more than the second map that they added, the second big map, whatever, Caldera. So yeah, hopefully they get these rotations down. Comment down below. I am curious what your favorite Resurgence maps are, maybe even rank them. Personally, I would go Rebirth, Vondel, Ashika, and then Fortune's Keep. Fortune's Keep is good for ranked, but Hub, it's all right. It's not bad. I think also the mode you play on affects it a little bit. And I know it's unpopular. I think Ashika's probably going to end up being dead last. I just personally think Ashika's like a great change of pace. Anyways, yeah, comment down below your favorite map, or just rank them either way. And do you think Rebirth will be able to plug right back in and be the same, or will it be a little different now compared to these other maps where there's buildings everywhere or lines of sight are blocked? This one's definitely different than the other 3 Resurgence maps. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Resurgence videos. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in the next. Peace.